Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking to you about how to handle reputation in your ttrpg game. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Dungeon Brew.
Hey folks, today is going to be Reputation in Favor. This is actually a project that I talked about, it's 2 months ago. It's been a little bit. I have been working on it, tweaking the rules, and just kind of making sure that everything was the way that I liked it before I put it out. And just real quick, before we dive into it, if you're looking for a copy of the PDF, just follow the link to the Patreon down below in the description, and you can download it for free. Okay, so what is Reputation in Favor? Reputation in Favor is really just a way for the Game Master to have a way of recording or tracking the reputation of players within regions or factions in order to give them some kind of social reward for the efforts that they go to, and really how this ends up coming to work within your specific game. Again, if you followed any of the documents that I put out there, any of the homebrew stuff that I put out there, really what I'm about is giving you options and then letting you kind of decide how to wrangle with those or what to include. I really just like to give you as much information as possible and then let you as the GM kind of decide what it is that you actually want to employ when it comes down to the way that your game is run. So by all means, pick and choose what you want to out of what it is that I'm going to present here, but that's what it is. So there's a couple of things. One is that I'm going to talk a little bit about reputation increases and decreases. I'm going to talk about how that affects your status within a given region or faction. I'm going to talk about how your overall reputation affects your reception within those regions or factions. And then I'm going to talk about some of the other benefits, such as discounts or, well, just other benefits. So maybe it sounds like a lot, maybe it doesn't sound like enough. I don't really even know at this point. The point is that when it comes to reputation is going to be affected basically by the people who are interested in who you are. So if we're just talking about a region, like you go into a small town and your players are performing quests there, then their reputation will slowly increase over time. Generally speaking, the way that I treat it is every time they complete a quest, they might gain 1 reputation point within that particular region. And if they finish a quest line or they finish something larger, maybe they get 2 points. So it's a very slow incremental thing that affects their reputation over time. Their reputation, it decreases if they were to fail at quests, or if they started, if the rogue in the party started thieving from people, or they're getting in drunken brawls in the tavern, that type of thing. So those things would decrease reputation. Just kind of in general, those are what they are. Now you can reverse that with the idea that if they're doing jobs for a thieves guild, for instance, maybe their reputation is going to increase within the Thieves Guild if they're doing jobs on behalf of the Thieves Guild, if they are robbing people and returning a percentage of their profits to the guild, if they're doing things to help out the guild in general. And then their reputation would decrease if they start to become known for doing too much goody-goody work. And so then it becomes suspicious because they're constantly working with law enforcement or something like that. Again, really, this is kind of up to you on exactly how you want to employ that, but I generally do this for things like the region, so this might be something like the town or the kingdom, depending on how you want to separate these things out, or how granular you want to get. And then I would do it for factions, so I might do it for something like maybe the city guard has their own sense of reputation with the party, or maybe the Thieves Guild does, or maybe it has something to do with the Enclave of Wizards, that type of thing. And you can do this as a party, or you can do this individually. All of this stuff is kind of left open and up in the air for you to decide how you want to employ it and how granular you want to get when it comes to a party's reputation. So reputation kind of can either go positive or negative. If it's going positive, they can go all the way up to being familiar, well-known, influential, or famous. And if it's going negative, then they might be seen as disreputable, notorious, nefarious, or infamous. And so they kind of can go on that sliding scale back and forth. And again, I think about this in terms of, are they affiliated with the Thieves Guild? How does the Thieves Guild see them versus how does the City Guard see them? And that's really kind of a black and white type situation. But again, employ this how you want to employ it. So everything we've talked about so far has really just been how high is their reputation score, and the reputation score can go anywhere from -60 to +60 on the chart that I have. And then how do we label that? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? And that has to do with the positive or the negative. So the next thing we're going to talk about, though, is reception. And reception parallels with that positive negative in the sense that if you are doing good things for a region, then you have a positive reception. If you are doing bad things for a region, then you're getting a negative reception. All right? So again, I'm not going to go through all of this, but just to kind of give you a sense, if you have no reputation, then your reputation is unknown or unproven, and you receive no reception whatsoever. You gain no benefits. There's nothing to separate you out from the masses, and that's kind of the point. And really within about 5 points of 0, that's kind of where you're at. There might be like a little bit of negativity there, but really until you hit either +5 or -5, you're in a range that's kind of a dead zone in terms of reputation. So once you start getting above that or below that, that's when you start to experience different receptions. So if you're going positive, you might get a friendly reception where people are kind of greeting you warmly, they're buying you drinks, that type of thing when you go into a tavern. If they're getting even higher than that, maybe they're getting to a special treatment point and they're being regarded with more respect or appreciation. They're well known. People go out of their way to try and come and greet them or thank them. They may even try and seek out the favor of the players by ingratiating themselves to them, right? And then it goes all the way up to a guest of honor, and that's the type of thing where the party has become so renowned. They're famous at this point. It's entirely possible that if they go to a banquet or something, then they're considered guests of honor. They're constantly being swarmed by masses in the street because they're so well liked and so well loved. And there are people who are either giving them gifts or singing them poetry or songs in the street, that type of stuff. On the negative side of that, we get the unfriendly, where people are kind of giving them the side eye and that type of thing. They're not really interested in giving them services, but they're not going to deny them anything. It's like their money is still good even though they don't like them. So beyond that, we get into avoided and then antagonistic. So again, I'm not going through all of these, but antagonistic is kind of the idea. This is the midway point on that hatred scale where the locals are going to be glaring at them, avoiding them as much as possible. They might even give them thinly veiled threats, that type of stuff. Prices for goods and services are going to be much more inflated. They don't really want to deal with the players, and so they try and make any kind of interaction with them as distasteful as possible in the hopes of driving them away, more or less. And if they cause any kind of disturbance whatsoever, so they do get drunk in the bar or something like that, it's entirely possible that they're either going to be arrested or they're going to be ran out of town as quickly as possible because they don't want them around. And then we go all the way up to the hunted tier, and this is where the party has become so hated, so infamous for the terrible things that they have done, that they're actively being pursued. So they have mercenaries and assassins and hunters seeking them out. The local authorities are more than happy to try and help capture them. And people it's not even that they're just avoiding the party at this point or the players at this point. They are actively trying to report their whereabouts, and immediately when they see them, they're going and reporting them to the local authorities. So that's kind of your scale there in terms of how well liked versus how disliked is a given party. So beyond that, there's a couple of other things here. One is that I incorporated this kind of general discount rule that, again, you guys are free to tweak however you want to do it, but the basic idea is that there are some generic discounts that they can get just for having a really good reputation with a region or with a group. So the way that this works is there's a percentage in the chart that tells you exactly what the maximum discount they can have, and then beyond that there is a max gold piece value for what they can purchase. So the last category are other benefits, and other benefits are basically the idea that how are people willing to help you, or how much are they willing to help you. So this is the type of thing where these aren't specific benefits that I'm trying to incorporate. These really have to do with how much is somebody willing to inconvenience themselves to help the party when they're in need. So I think that this is the kind of thing where we really see this usually in late stage games where a party or a player character has ingratiated themselves within a given location, and so they go out and they ask for help to finally finish their final quest, and all this is just codifying that, really. It's the kind of thing where maybe you've got somebody who's friends or family, they're willing to help them with some of their achievements, they're willing to give them whatever they can give them to try and make sure that they're successful. And then you go up from the friendly recognition for people that they already know into things like private recognition, where this would be peers. So you have enough of a reputation to where the wizard goes into the wizard tower and other wizards recognize his wizardly wizardness and are like, okay, maybe we can help you a little bit here. You get public recognition, where suddenly you're being recognized maybe outside of that main circle. And then you get into the eventual state where you're able to command an audience. So the party has become so reputable and over such a wide region that maybe they can go into a kingdom and actually command an audience with the ruler of that particular kingdom and request aid. Now, how much aid that person is willing to give them has to do with their reputation in that particular place, but I think it's important to kind of get that sense of what are they able to command just based off of the reputation. All right, so I know that was a lot. I tried to keep things brief a little bit. Again, I just kind of wanted to give you a sense of what this is for. Really, what I imagine this document is for, and what I have used this for in the past, are political type games. I don't use this in every single game. This is really beneficial when you're talking about having a political intrigue campaign where the party is trying to gain the favor of various factions within a given city or within a given region, and they're trying to get enough reputation there in order to be able to resolve whatever political intrigue is going on there to begin with. All right, I think that that's really the best case, the best use case for this type of information. Again, if you have not already, please go check out our Patreon. That's where you can find a copy of the PDF that's free for download. And if you have not already, please like, subscribe, leave a comment below. It really helps the channel to grow. And I will see you all next time.
Dungeon Brew.